Hello, Zach. IR Smart. Today, I'm here to talk about Andor. Yeah, that's right, I got a poster. I got a poster. That's how hyped I am for the show. And you should be hyped too, because I think this show has a chance to be really, really good. And really, be a brand new kind of Star Wars thing. And kind of mix it up, because, last couple of Star Wars things we've gotten have just been a lot of like just all the samey type stuff. I think Andor is going to be really different. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video, why you should be excited for Andor, because I think it's going to be really good. So anyway, let's just get into it. So first off, this is a, fairly new idea that this Andor show is going to be based around. Basically, it's going to be around, the birth of the rebellion, and specifically focus on Cassian Andor, who, we've seen from Rogue One. And thematically, it's going to be very similar to Rogue One, which was a more darker, grittier film, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. If you're not familiar, I just went and, I think I mentioned it in one other video, but I went and saw Rogue One in IMAX, the re-release. That's where I got this cool free poster. It also had some Andor footage in there, so I got to see a little bit of exclusive stuff. So yeah, I saw that, and you probably didn't see that, so I know more than you. So that automatically means you have to listen to whatever I say in this video. Basically, this show is going to be cool. It's made by the same people who made Rogue One, which is, that's pretty cool. So if you liked Rogue One, good chance you'll probably like this show, because, the people who made Rogue One know what they're doing, and they made a very good Star Wars movie. Like, I think Rogue One is really slept on. I don't know why. Like, people are just like, oh yeah, Rogue One was cool, I guess. Like, it was so good. Literally, like, one of the best things that Disney has given us from Disney Star Wars. Rogue One is so good, and I think it's really great. So if they can keep that going with Andor, I think we could have a really good show on our hands here. Now, also, this is going to be a longer series, because for whatever reason, with all the Disney and the Star Wars and Marvel shows they've been doing, they've all been like, yeah, 6 episodes. Here you go. 6-episode limited series. And I'm like, what's up with that? Why can't we have any series that are actually longer? So with Andor, they're actually giving us double that, 12 episodes. So that's a really good sign, because I feel like the thing with Kenobi was they had like an idea that was like movie length, but they also kind of wanted to do something that was like a longer series. So we kind of got this thing where it was just kind of like, it's kind of a movie and kind of a series, and I don't know, it had some good stuff in it, but overall just, the pacing was weird in Kenobi. I don't really know, because like some episodes was like, oh, Leia is captured, but then she's captured again, and then we need another episode, so we're going to have her get captured again, and it just kind of went on, and it was like, do they know what they're doing? So hopefully, with the longer span, they can actually, have different sections and different arcs, and they, with more time, with these more episodes, so that's another good sign. Also, we have, brand new cast of characters. Like, I only recognize 3 people on that poster. Obviously Cassian Andor, who we've seen before. Mon Mothma's on there. Same actress we saw play in Episode 3, also in Rogue One, and also, like, she did the voice for some Clone Wars episodes. But it's the same actress. Not from Episode 6, though, because she's much older. But, based on that character. This is just... You know what I mean. Anyway, we also have, what's his name? Saw Gerrera. Yeah, he's played by Forrest Whitaker. He's coming back, so that's cool. So yeah, those are like only 3 characters that I see that are returning characters, which is actually a good thing, because we have all these other like I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's a ton of characters on that poster that are brand new actors, brand new characters to Star Wars, which is a really good thing, because new characters have all this potential. They're not like, because like another thing with the Kenobi series I found kind of disappointing was, okay, it's, you have like Kenobi and Darth Vader, like, cool, but there are certain things we can't have them do. We can't have Vader go to Tatooine, or else that creates plot problems. We can't have Kenobi, like, interacting with this character, or else they're very limited with what they can do. With new characters, there's all sorts of things they can do, and hopefully should, reduce the amount of plot problems that bog down some of the other Star Wars things we've had recently. Another thing I'd like to mention is that the director said they won't be using the volume. If you're not familiar, the volume is what they call this huge TV screen they have at Disney, and it's what they use to film some movies, but mainly The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, and also Kenobi. It's basically just a big TV screen. But the problem is that, it's really cool and allows them to do some crazy stuff just in one set. However, it's kind of limiting because it's just a confined space. With Andor, they're doing more on-location stuff, filming bigger stuff, which it's really cool. So, it's just going to be a bit different. So, and I think that's the main thing that excites me for Andor. It's going to be different than the last couple things, because, Mandalorian was good. Book of Boba Fett was okay. Mandalorian Season 2 was pretty good. Kenobi was okay most of the time. And all those, were made very, very similarly. So I'm hoping that this thing, which made by different people, being made differently, is going to be different, and hopefully that means better. Don't necessarily know for sure, but it's a good sign. Another thing is that I really doubt there will be that much fan service in this show, which is actually a good thing, because I think that was one of my most annoying parts of Episode 9. It was like, hey, the fans like Palpatine? Guess what? He's our main villain. Oh, the fans say that Chewbacca should have gotten his medal? Guess what? We're going to have a scene where Chewbacca gets his medal. Does it make any sense in the story? No. But we're going to have it in there because fans like it. It was just like all these things they threw in there, and it was just like, okay, why? Why are you doing it? And same with like Lando coming back. Like, it was just kind of like, here's Billy D. Williams as Lando. He's in the movie. And it was like, okay, what's he going to do in the movie? Doesn't matter. You wanted Lando back, right? Here's Lando. And it's just, I don't know. And same with Mandalorian Season 2. Mandalorian Season 2 had a lot of fan service, which is kind of a bad thing. I feel like I could talk about this all day, but it's kind of just, it's like, oh, cool. There's Ahsoka, and like it's really cool in the moment. But then it's just kind of like, okay, why is she there, though? She's just there to set up her own series. Oh, okay. Well, that feels less cool now. So, I don't know. It's this whole thing. But I'm really doubting that this show, I have to point down, I don't think this show will have very much fan service. And I think that's a good thing. Because, fan service can just get very annoying very quickly, especially when it's not used very well. So, I think this show will have less. It'll probably have some. There's probably going to be, like, big cameo, this character shows up or whatever. But I think it'll be a bit toned down. Because I think what the show writers want to focus on is more on, like, the rebellion and the Empire and that struggle. Versus, big, oh, here's this Jedi character, here's this Sith character, that sort of thing. Another thing I'd like to mention is that no fans asked for this show, which is a good thing. Like, I don't think many people were thinking, like, hey, Cassian Andor, that guy from Rogue One? Yeah, he needs a series. I don't know if many fans at all were requesting that. A lot of people were thinking, ooh, Boba Fett, he needs to be more fleshed out as a character. Obi-Wan Kenobi, we all love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Make a series about him. That's been something people have been asking for years. And then when we finally get it, it's just kind of like, eh. And I think a big part of this was because, Disney was like, fine, you want this? Here it is. We made it. And it's like, oh, well, that wasn't as good as I was expecting. Well, yeah, because you've been begging for years, and they finally make it just because you're asking. Not because they have a good idea or because they actually have something to do with it. It's just they made it because people wanted it. And same with Boba Fett. People are like, oh, we need to flesh out Boba Fett as a character. And they're like, okay, fine. It's like, oh, well, he isn't as cool as I thought. Why did we do that? See, my point here is that, no one was asking for this. So it should probably be pretty good. Right? I think it's going to be good. Also, another thing I want to mention is just from the trailers that I've seen, it really looks like this show will kind of have like the feel and look of the original trilogy, and also it takes place during that time period. But it also looks like it will have a lot of the world building and politics of the prequels, which is another good part of those, but also all the impressive visuals of the sequel trilogy. So basically what I'm saying is we're going to have the best of all three worlds in a series, and that's pretty cool. So if they can pull it off, again, this is going to be a really, really good series if everything just goes right. Also a little personal thing, I'm just going to say, this show has a chance to basically define the future of Stormtroopers, alright? They have a choice here. They can do what other Star Wars things have been doing recently and make Stormtroopers a joke, or they can do the cool thing and make Stormtroopers actually important characters. Now, if you're not familiar, I've talked about this before. For whatever reason, Disney is really thinking, hey, you know how for years fans have made fun of Stormtroopers? Yeah, let's make that canon. Because like in the Mandalorian, they had that one scene where it's like, haha, look at those scout troopers can't shoot. Isn't that so funny? Haha, guys, isn't that funny? The Stormtroopers can't shoot. Isn't that funny? And then again, they did this in Mandalorian, where like multiple other times where they're like, "Oh, he's an Imperial sharpshooter." That's not saying much. Ha ha ha! Laugh track. Isn't everyone so impressed? We're making fun of Stormtroopers. Shut up! I'm getting sick of it. Okay, basically, Stormtroopers, what they should be, is an actual threat. Something our characters actually have to, be cautious of. So that since this show is going to be about the rebels and the Empire, I think we should actually have the Empire as a threat to our main characters and not a joke. Like, I think The Mandalorian is more lighthearted, so it's okay in there. But this, if they're trying to make it more gritty and more war-oriented, we can't have our, main antagonist, that being the Empire, we can't have them be a joke, okay? So for me, please, make Stormtroopers good in this series, okay? I really think they can do it in this series, because in most other recent Star Wars stuff, they've just been making us a joke, and I really don't appreciate it. So please, Disney, stop making me a joke, okay? That's all I ask. So basically what I'm saying in this video is that us as Star Wars fans should be ready for a show that's going to be different, but also probably really good. An interesting thing I saw was a critic said, because some of the critics got to see this stuff a bit early, one of them said, "This show is really good. Most Star Wars fans are going to hate it." Now what I interpret this as is, the show is good, But a lot of Star Wars fans who are expecting just more of the same are going to be disappointed because this series is going to be very different. And some people are going to like the different, and some people aren't going to like the different. I'm probably going to be in the camp that's going to like it, because personally, I really liked the ways that The Last Jedi was different. I'm in that camp, yes. You can hate me now, but I like The Last Jedi for the things it did different. The stuff it did bad and that it did stupid, I don't like. And, it did a lot of stupid, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to try and say The Last Jedi didn't do some stupid stuff, like Leia flying through space and all the other weird stuff in that movie. But the stuff that it did good, it did really good, It did some good stuff. That's a whole thing I could get into. But basically what I'm saying is when Star Wars is different, it is really good. So I think the series has a chance to be really good. Because again, was anyone expecting Rogue One? Was anyone expecting them to make an entire movie about one plot hole from A New Hope? No. But it was really good. Because no one was expecting it. So that's why I think this Andor series is going to be really good. And why you should be excited for it. It comes out September 21st. That's coming up pretty soon. Like literally the 21st night of September. That's crazy. Anyway, so Andor. Get hyped for it. It's going to be cool. Probably. More than likely. Hopefully. Please make Andor really good. It has a chance to be really good, and I think it's going to be really good. So anyway, yeah, that's it. That's the whole video. Bye.